The number one mistake that I see people make with Saturn in general is it's not laziness. It's not impatience, although that is a part of it. It's not the time itself. And it's not denial, just flat out denial. The number one biggest mistake that I see people make with Saturn is entitlement. This comes from the saying of, I guess, you reap what you sow. So therefore, if you have to work 10 times harder for 10 times as long as someone else that just, I guess you could say they just kind of had it handed to them. It came very easy for them. That somehow, because you had to work so much harder than everyone else, and you had to struggle so much more, that somehow that entitles you to having 10 times as much. That entitles you to having more than them. Another way would be, well, so-and-so was just born this way. It was just handed to them on a silver platter. They never had to work for what they have. It was just given to them for free. So therefore, they don't deserve what they have. I should be able to take it from them. After all, you reap what you sow, right? This is a big mistake. A huge mistake. Because Saturn is the judge. You're not. That's it. And then, on top of that, I want to say the absolute, well, not the absolute worst thing, but a very common example that I see of this is in regards to love. So you have someone, maybe they struggled with love when they were young. Maybe they were physically unattractive when they were young. And they had to work really hard to make themselves more attractive, to make themselves more appealing. And so as a result, okay, when they're older, all of a sudden you're attractive. You have this attractive partner, but you don't want to settle. You don't want to actually build a happy relationship with them. You don't want to build a stable relationship. You don't want Libra. You want, Sagittarius or Scorpio, because you feel, well, I had to work so hard for what I had. Shouldn't I should be allowed to, have 10 or 20 girlfriends or, 10 boyfriends and just string them along. Just string just string everyone along, because after all, I worked so much harder. Don't I deserve so much more? Saturn also governs humility. And like in the mythology, Saturn does castrate Uranus. He does. He cuts him. Simply because Uranus just couldn't stop. He was going to excess. Of course, later on, Jupiter does the same thing to Saturn. And that'll be about it for this one. Thanks. Take care.